All right, if you are in the market for a new tablet, I have the best options depending on the type of person you are. And I spent a lot of time researching, looking at reviews, looking at experts' opinions. These are the best tablets that you can get. All right, we're going to start it off strong with the Apple iPad 10th generation. Now, there is no one size fits all, but we're going to start off with the budget tablet buyers. And the iPad is among the best. I'm an Apple person. I have an iPad, as you just saw. This iPad is going to get you all of the utility that you need for video consumption, apps, games, drawing, all that support and whatsoever. And yes, there's also keyboard support as well, but if you need a cheap tablet, if you need it to work well with your iPhone, if you want it to work within the Apple ecosystem, if you want updated design, if you want updated charging, USB Type-C, this is going to be among the best. And right now, you can get it on Amazon for $279. That is pretty good gift overall. All right, we are staying in budget land, and if you really think that's too expensive, if you just want a very simple iPad, you don't care if it's got a fancy screen, you don't care if it's a bit dated, you don't care if it has a lightning charging port, and you don't care if it has chunky bezels, then this is the iPad for you. This is the 9.7-inch iPad. It's the older form factor, essentially the same one I just showed you, just the older model. And because it's an older model, you can get this for a screaming deal around $100. It's still got the fingerprint sensor. You can still watch videos on it. It's still got decent speakers. It still has the original Apple Pencil support, but overall, if you're going to use a pencil with it, you want to use a keyboard, I wouldn't get this. But this is a good, cheap budget tablet that, honestly, it's going to get the job done. If you want to watch a movie, watching it on this is going to be a world of difference from the newer iPad. Now, we haven't left the budget options. This is the Samsung Galaxy Tab A9 Plus 11-inch. This is going to be very comparable to the first iPad that I showed you. You'll notice it has a very similar form factor. It's got that singular camera. It's got similar size bezels. Overall, this is going to be a similar experience, except for it has a few better specs. Now, I've talked about this previously, but if you're going to compare a Apple product versus a Samsung product or Google product at times, the Samsung or Google usually comes out on top with the specs and better price. However, if you value the ecosystem, that's a different story. But when you look at the form factor, I mean, if I wouldn't have told you, you would have assumed that this was an iPad just looking at it. And it really is very similar performance, but the ultimate differentiator is $169 on sale. Again, the links for all of these will be in the description. I'll also put a comment down below, but this is going to be the last one for your budget iPads. If you don't need anything fancy, maybe it's for the kids, maybe it's for the family, maybe it's just for you, but you don't care a whole lot, this is going to be a good option as well. All right, next up, we had to do it, the iPad Mini. The iPad Mini is one of the most well-loved iPads in the world. I've had one, I've loved it, I'm considering getting one another day, but this iPad is uber portable. For whatever reason, people love the small iPad. You can put it in your pocket, you can easily put it in a book bag. This isn't going to have the 120 hertz refresh rate. If it did, I would have it easily, would have been my favorite iPad. But you know, this is still a solid iPad. It's a great size, and it is definitely worth considering getting. The price, though, is going to be a little bit steeper. You're going to be looking at about $400. Now, that is on sale. A lot of these links that I'm going to be posting is going to be the best price possible I can find. A lot of the Apple products on Amazon are actually cheaper than Apple, even though it's the Apple Store selling directly on both. Go figures. The iPad Mini comes in. We're going to continue with the mid-tier tablets, and I had to show some love to Google. Now, the Google Pixel tablet is nothing overly impressive on the spec side of things. However, Google Pixel has a great ecosystem, and what I think that's really unique about this tablet is it actually has a dock that you can mount it to where it's almost like a Google Home. If you look at those pins on the back, you can treat it as kind of a smart home hub. You can take it off, it charges wirelessly, really fun. Now, this is not included in the price, that charging mount. You're going to have to get that separately. I can link it down below as well. But ultimately, if you're in the Google ecosystem, I think it's worth having the consistency. Now, Android's going to travel across, Samsung Galaxy, Samsung, Google, all that. So it's not a huge deal. But this tablet right here was made to be a hub, and I think it's pretty good. Again, the specs are not overwhelmingly great, but for the price point, it's not too bad at $300. I would consider the Google Pixel tablet. 11-inch screen, by the way. All right, this is where things get a bit crazy. I had to put this one in. This is the iPad Pro 13-inch M4 chip, built for Apple Intelligence, all that stuff. This is the nicest, most expensive tablet really you can get that I've seen. You can get it for a decent deal, just above $1,000. Super thin, tandem OLED screen, Apple Pencil support, updated Magic Keyboard, the thinnest iPad ever. There's all those things. Ultimately, I think this is a little out of my price range. I personally wouldn't splurge for this. But if you're just loving Apple and you've got money to spend, I think this could be one of the best options because if you look right here, it is on sale a little bit. It is a little cheaper than directly on the Apple Store. This is going to be a massive screen, massive, experience for watching movies, drawing, all that stuff. Portability, not as great, right? We're now entering the mega tablet comparison part of the video. But what I think the true value add of this tablet is a premium experience for consuming media. Now, what becomes really interesting is this is not the biggest and not the best, and I'll tell you why. I just showed you a 13-inch tablet for $1,000. Right here is a 12.4-inch tablet for $500. This is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 FE Plus. Now, these specs are not going to compare to the iPad Pro, but look at that. Pencil support, and the pencil also comes with it. You can snap this on the back. I've used this tablet. It's awesome. Is it better than the iPad? Well, directly, no. The specs aren't going to be better, but this is going to be very comparable to an 11-inch, an 11-inch iPad Pro. That's exactly what I'm comparing it to. It's a really solid tablet. This is going to be a great kind of mid-premium experience, but for a not-so-premium price. But this is not as crazy as the last tablet I wanted to highlight in this video. Last but not least, I understand this is not the newest one, but I found a great deal. Normally, this tablet is selling for $900. It's $477. This is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra. It is 14.6. Yes, you heard me right. 14.6 inches. It's about 3 years old now. It's a little bit dated, and they have newer models. But this line of tablet is insane. You thought the iPad, 13-inch was insane. This is a massive, massive screen. The portability on this is horrendous. But the screen size, the experience, if you're looking for the biggest, baddest tablet, and you're okay venturing outside of the Apple ecosystem, and you want to get a really good deal, the Samsung Galaxy Tab line, especially the largest size, you can find a really good deal on. Go ahead and click the link below. I have an extreme discount. I mean, this is 52% off right now. This is pretty crazy. If I was looking for a big tablet, I would easily get this over the iPad Pro because you can get two of these for the price of one. Now, I know I'm comparing a 3-year dated Samsung Galaxy Tab versus a brand new iPad, but when you think about it, unless you're doing intense video editing or, Photoshop design or whatever it may be, you don't really need a super spec'd out iPad. Personally, I would strongly consider this one if you want a big tablet. That is going to round it up for the list. Those are the best tablets I could find on Amazon that I think you should consider buying. Thanks for watching.